So thank you. It's great to be here after 4 weeks, I think it's been, hasn't it? Something like that. So just allow ourselves just to tune in, just feel into where we're each at this morning, bringing yourself into center, following the inflow and the outflow of your breath. And as you just follow your breath, leave all thoughts aside for the moment. Just feel yourself in touch with your energetic body. Feeling that energy. That is your etheric body. And connecting with higher self, connecting with spirit. Okay, so yeah, over the past months, I guess it's been, we've dived into all sorts of things. I mean, it's almost this time last year that we started running these masterclasses, or getting close to it. Might have been November, maybe, where we sort of started moving into the mechanics of creation, as it became called, stepping into the energy of the end result, and looking at how our minds work either to serve us or to stall us in our journey to create the life we love. And I really do hope that over that period of time that some of that knowledge has been helpful. Well, maybe all that knowledge has been helpful. And that you are moving more efficiently towards creating what it is you want to have, do, or be in your life. Because that's, of course, the reason, well, I guess the main reason why we're all here. And, of course, the other side of that has been this more spiritual side of things. Where we've been diving into this Codex of Cycles, which really reveals the deeper patterns within your journey. In my own sort of exploring of the Codex, where I've come across this wizard gatekeeper archetype, I realised that that energy has always been with me my whole life. And for me, what that's provided is a real handle, a real realization on why I'm like I am in so many ways. It's kind of deeper than a personality profiling, really. It does edge towards understanding the blueprint of your life as to why you're really here. And so I think that's been a real blessing for me. And I'm not asking the question right now, but I just wonder how that has played out for you, those of you that have dived into that codex a little more deeply. It's not just a concept. It really is a deep truth that seems to sit beneath the surface of the day-to-day, I guess, world of form that as Eckhart Tolle would call it. You got the world of form, then you've got the world of formlessness. So yeah, as we've dived into it, we've spoken a little bit about other cycles of time. In the Lemurian Fellowship, we've jumped into the Lemurian cycle of time and had some really interesting revelations there. It was really interesting, the last one that we did, where it sort of confirmed a lot of things, and where people started to notice, whether they had a healing energy or a seer energy, all these different archetypes that seem to run like a thread through our spiritual ancestry. And the Lemurian cycles were about learning stillness and connection, and actually exemplifying that within the 3D world, leading the Lemurians to ascend to what you might call 5D. Then we've got the Atlantean cycle, and we haven't delved into these cycles, but I just wanted to talk about them a little bit today, where the Atlantean cycle was about technology and the use of technology for the benefit of the planet. Unfortunately, in the Atlantean cycle, there was some interference that came in, and things didn't go as well as they could have gone. But that's an interesting story. And the interesting thing about the Atlantean cycle is we're facing similar technological challenges in this era as well, in this cycle of time. And I think that's a lot to do with around the AI thing. Is it going to serve us, or is it going to entrap us? So yeah, some thoughts around that. There's Elven cycle and Avian cycles, which are really about beauty, I guess, connection, song, higher visions. And there are lots of different cycles, but they're the main ones that seem to come up. And in this cycle of time, what we're really here for, I believe, is to awaken our connection to spirit and to understand who we really are. We've all heard of the hero's journey, hey? How, heroes born into the world and forget who they are, and, usually get taken to another country. Like King Arthur ended up being taken off to France because King Uther was killing all the children under a certain age. Typical sort of medieval story. And he grew up there in France not knowing who he was until Merlin came along. The wise man comes along and started to take him under his wing, and as Arthur started to work through the veil, I guess, the fog of realizing he wasn't just a peasant on a farm in France, but he was actually somewhat greater than that. And then, of course, as we know, became the King of England, as legend has it. But it's the same thing with, it sort of parallels the Luke Skywalker story, doesn't it? Luke Skywalker taken to a farming planet, living a little life. Along comes Obi-Wan Kenobi. Guess what? We have a mission for you. And then, another one, Jesus Christ, he was similar, where, Jesus Christ was hidden because, once again, someone was killing all the babies. And along come John the Baptist and woke him up. So I guess these are, are they true? Are they real? Is Star Wars real? Is Jesus real? Is King Arthur real? But you are real. And I love the hero's journey in that simplified version of it. People get all crazy with diagrams and all sorts of things, I've noticed, but I think the simplicity of it is that we are here in this cycle of time to realize who we are. And I guess we don't all have Obi-Wan Kenobis coming and waking us up, but something wakes us up, doesn't it? And we get on our path and we start to overcome the obstacles that we've created. in our life shed the veil. Yeah. So today, I want to sort of explore a little more deeply in spirit rather than so much in words, and take you guys on a little bit of a journey through who you really are, I guess. It's interesting because the whole time I was away, the one thing that kept coming through was was anchoring spirit into the physical, which is a really interesting concept. You know, a lot of the time we, you know, if we talk about spirit, we sort of look up, don't we? Spirit, somewhere up there, God, whatever. Which, of course, is just a normal human way of indicating something that seems to be on a higher frequency than where you are now. And that's fair enough, I suppose. But what was coming through the whole time I was away, which was really interesting, and it was the only thing that came through, was bringing spirit from up there, you know where it is, down into, and the word that came through was bringing spirit into bone, which sounds very shamanic, actually. Yeah, that's right, Nick. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But before I do that, I just want to say, has anyone got any thoughts, comments, or anything they would like to add in at this point in time? Just on what I've said. I mean, what have you noticed? Has this codex thing landed with you, any of you? If so, let me know, because I'm wondering if it is landing with people. So yeah, what do you think? And if you don't know what the codex thing is because you haven't been to all of the sessions, that's okay. You can ask. Hey, Nick.
Um, I must admit, like I feel like, because I missed last month because I was on the mountain. Um,
Mm.
and but what you just said about bringing spirit into bones, uh, to me feels like a similar message I received when I
Oh,
was
interesting.
on my mountains. Um, yeah, just really making it real in a beautiful way so that my life is more ritual, more celebration within the
Mm.
rituals. Um, so I'm not going to answer the other part of your question, but that's my comment.
No, that's brilliant. Thank
I
you.
feel like, yeah, the bones thing, there was something when I was on the mountains
Yeah,
about the bones,
yeah,
feeling things in your bones. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
It's an embodiment, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody else like to add
Mm.
anything in at this point in time? Hey, Kath. Thanks, Nick.
Well, I haven't made too many meetings, but because you keep crossing my path, and for some reason, that's why I've turned up. If someone crosses my path a few times, I think, okay, they've been put here again, must go. And
Mm.
I've absolutely loved everything that you've said. That threads of archetype that thread through the ancestry. And yes, don't know much about the Codex, but that reminder of the hero's journey, it doesn't have to be that big one. It's actually the journey we take. We're born with a spark. We completely forget it, and it's finding that spark. That's our journey. But definitely bringing that spirit, not seeing without us. It's bringing it into one. So we live it, we embody it. It is part of who we are. It's not separate to us, something we aim to be, you know, then and later. It's just making it whole all the time, present.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited about the rest of today.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah. Anyone else like to add anything in at this point in time? Hey, Judy.
Yeah, just to go back to the archetypes, I think doing those sessions and the Lemurian session and the session that there's been a real that we talked about through the Codex. There's been a real settling into the bones,
Oh,
almost
good.
into
Good.
the body, that embodiment of that archetype, and it's sort of just like, yeah, of course, that's. And you say it's more than personalities, you know, that's an essence, a vibration of me that I hold, and obviously hold in my DNA and hold in my soul and etc., all the way through. And it's just been like this, yeah, that's cool. That's good. It's not wrong, it's not right, it's just me. It's just the authentic.
Oops. Wait and see if Judy comes back. Frozen moment. Well, she'll be back in a minute, I'm sure. Yeah, the archetype across the the archetypes across cycles of time is something that seems to really resonate. Oh, you're back, Judy. We lost you.
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there, but that's technology.
Yeah. Well, what was the archetype that you noticed, if you don't mind me
Um,
asking? I'm
you
trying to
know,
remember.
it's very much around the nurturer, teacher, mentor archetype.
Gotcha. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. What we've noticed, for just to fill in quickly for those of you that may not have picked up on the just the basics of this codex, the idea is that and I won't go into depth, but if you want to know more about it, and you've missed some of the teachings or forgotten them or didn't hear them or something happened, then just reach out and get in touch, and we'll have a chat on the phone about it to fill you in a little more deeply. I'm very happy to do that. But the idea is that there are cycles of time. As I said, Lemurian, Atlantean, they're the ones that people talk about Atlantis all the time. If you've heard of Lemuria, you'll talk about Lemuria all the time. And then there are other cycles of time as well. I mean, there's, people say I'm a starseed, I'm an Arcturian, I'm a Syrian or whatever. Some are fable, some are true. But there are cycles of time outside of this cycle of time. And across all these cycles, you've had many lives in each of those cycles of time, just as you've had past lives, as we generally call them, in this cycle of time. So have you had in other cycles of time. And what we've noticed is that in each cycle of time there is one version of you that was the epitome within that cycle of time. And at the end of each cycle of time, there's an ascension event. It's a lot of what people are talking about, the end times in this cycle, the earth splitting. You've probably heard all these terms trying to describe the fact that we feel that we are at a point where something big's going to happen. And I don't think it's just because we think it is. I mean, something big's going to happen. It might not happen in our lifetime, but something big is happening. And that's and at the end of each cycle of time, you would imagine at the end that those who are alive incarnated at that part of that cycle of time, you would expect would be those who have reached that certain point of spiritual maturity or consciousness, that they are the epitome, shall we say, spiritually, consciously, within that cycle of time. Just putting it very, very simply. And we found that when you connect with the incarnation of you, much in the same way that you would connect with a past life, if you're doing a past life regression, or even an ancestor, when you connect with that version of you that was that epitome, because that's the word I'm thinking of at the moment, we find that they have very similar traits to the traits that you have. And it's almost like when you connect with those versions of you, it's like there's a council, a group of souls that I suppose you could probably almost call them like spirit guides, I suppose, in some ways, you know. But it's sort of like they have a similar theme throughout, not all the same. But it's sort of like one of the best ways to describe it that came through. It's a little bit like a lock, like a key going into a lock. You know, you've got all your little cylinders and stuff, and when the key goes in, it lines everything up, and then the lock turns. So what we found is that in connecting with those incarnations of yourself from other cycles of time, it aligns your soul energy and reveals so much depth of your soul blueprint within this lifetime. It's just like I don't know, confirmation, a revelation, perhaps, but it turns on a very strong spiritual consciousness within you. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can explain it. Bill, you've experienced this with me. Would you explain it that way as well?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best words I can come up with this morning. Yeah. I don't feel it's quite an adequate explanation, but it's the best I can do right now. Yeah, it's illuminating. So what's the benefit of it? You know, I mean, why we're chasing this? And I think the benefit of it is that it allows you to really understand your blueprint, why you're here. It allows you to feel a certain empowerment, almost a validation of who you are. I mean, for me, you know, I'm the wizard gatekeeper guy. I tell you what, things, I'm not OCDC, obviously, otherwise I'd have notes that I'd be reading from right now instead of just a few scribbled things. But things, you know, if things are not right, oh my God, And I'm like that. I've been like that in business. I've been like that in relationships. I'm just like that. And it's a good thing because I'm the gatekeeper. Hey. And it's not like things have to be like this, but it's like, hey, I'm here to clear the way to make sure that things are running how they should. That's the gatekeeper. And funnily enough, when I find myself in different cycles of time, I seem to be most of the time between cycles. Like there's some sort of a archetype there that is like a watcher or something like that. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so there's a very blurry schmurry overview of the Codex. And as I say, if you want to talk about it with me in more depth, I'm happy to have a yarn. Yeah. It's a little difficult, I guess, within a group situation to really explore the Codex deeply with you. It's better done on a one-to-one basis, and that's why this is a bit of a commercial break, I guess, in some ways, but for your benefit. That's why I've been offering, well, that was the way I set a whole lot of emails up about mentorship sessions to explore the Codex. So that's the reason why I put that out, because even just doing three one-on-one sessions with me to jump into the Codex, where I'll actually guide you through and guide you into it, you'll get so much out of it that yeah, it'll really switch on your creative juices, really switch on a knowing of who you really are. So I do encourage you, if you want to go deeper, give me a call and we'll talk about it. And if you do want to do 3 sessions or do the 3-month sessions, definitely worth doing it. It's different to anything you've ever done before. And it's great. And a lot of it turns into, like, I find what happens, the first few sessions end up being like these amazing revelatory healing sessions for people. I kind of know how, in some ways, those of you that have been through the Create Your Destiny thing, where William keeps saying you don't need to be fixed. Well, if your emotions are anchored in past events and you're referencing your future capability from what's happened to you in the past, yeah, we can shift that. And what happens when people do work with me one-on-one, the amazing amount of blocks that actually get shifted out of the way quite fluidly in the first 2, 3, or 4 sessions, and then sometimes they just pop up. Yeah, so I won't dob anyone in who's worked with me, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's really good. Yeah, okay, that's enough of that. I want to dive in to a little bit of a meditation. This came through at 1 o'clock in the morning last night, so it's fresh. Okay. Every thought we have is referenced, is tied to the past or to the future. When you think about it, when you have a thought, it's usually about something that happened that you need to do something about, or are feeling a bit yickety about, perhaps something that's unsettled you, or you're thinking about what's going to happen. Like, if I stop talking now and we all just drift off into having a thought, we'll probably be thinking about what we've got to sort out from what happened yesterday, or what we've got to sort out that's going to happen later today. I'm not categorically saying all thoughts are tied to the past or to the future, but I think a lot of them are. And when you have done a little bit of meditating and a little bit of spiritual work, you realise that there are different levels of brain as well. There's a level of the brain, the monkey chatter brain, that starts talking about, guess what I'm talking about now, anchored to the past, thinking about the future, keeping you oscillating backwards and forwards. And then there's a part of your brain that, while it's doing that, you can actually observe that it's doing that. And they're different levels. But it appears to me that what keeps us in the world of form, which is the day-to-day, the Dharma, I think they call it in Buddhism, don't they, or some word like that, keeps us in this constant oscillation between what happened in the past and what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and all the emotions that come up around it that stir us up, is really what keeps us stuck in that world, is our thoughts of the past or thoughts of the future, identified with egoic patterning, And we spoke a little bit about egoic patterning in some of these sessions, where we reference to the past, what happened before. Our subconscious sits there quite politely making the same thing happen again because that's its job. Gets us stuck in the pain, because emotion is about emotion, energy in motion, and it's there for a reason, to, like a little risk management thing, to sit there and make sure that that thing that happened, that embarrassment that you had or that hurt that you had, make sure it doesn't happen again. So there's like a little alarm goes off in your subconscious mind saying, this looks familiar, and then naturally steers you away from it. Unfortunately, it's usually steering you away from that which you're trying to create in your life, because if you didn't have a reason not to have it in your life, then you would have already created it. So it's kind of like a catch-22 sort of situation. And so also, I mean, there's also ancestral trauma that comes through as well. And a lot of people are locked in ancestral trauma these days. It's a lot of that coming up from, particularly with our Indigenous people, whether it's Australian, North American, New Zealand, you know, we can go on and on and on, where people are caught in this entrapment of suffering, not even what happened to them, but what happened to their ancestors. And so I see it sort of like a horizontal axis. Okay, and here we are. Here's the past, and here's the future. And so we're sort of being balanced out here. And the horizontal axis, in my way of thinking, speaks about the balance between the ancestral line of the mother and the ancestral line of the father, which in shamanic terms is grandfather sun is the element of fire, grandmother moon is the element of water. So we've got this balance between action happening into the future, which is that very male energy, and the emotional energy of the feminine. And it occurs as interesting to me that, of course, the feminine emotional energy, grandmother moon, is kind of more anchored to the past than it is to the future, I think, in some ways. I'm not talking about male and female here, we're talking about masculine and feminine energies. It occurs to me that that we're on like a seesaw, a balance there. If we've got too much emotion, it puts out our fire. If we've got too much fire, it stifles our emotion. So from a very shamanic point of view, getting a balance there. So past, future. In the middle is you. And I always had thought for quite a while about what's this business about, you know, you must control your thoughts. You must stop thinking. Why? And I think one of the reason is because we want to come to center. We don't want to be referenced to the past. We don't want to be always thinking about the future. When we come to center, okay, by limiting our thoughts to the now, that's where we tap in. Imagine your heart is in the middle here, heart's in the center. And we can then connect ourselves to the axis, the north-south axis, so to speak, which is the axis of bringing spirit down into bone. Okay. So they're the words. Let's do a little meditation on it. And see where this goes. Okay. Just become aware of the inflow and outflow of your breath. And bearing in mind all of those words that I've just come out with, however they landed for you, what was significant about those words or what wasn't. Imagine that you were on an east-west axis. The x-axis, I think that is. I always get confused between the x and the y-axis, but we'll go with the x-axis, the horizontal one. And as you allow yourself to think back into the past, just feel how it feels to slide back along that axis, back to the past. And let go of the past for this moment in time. And bring yourself to the center. Bring yourself in to your heart space. Allow yourself to look towards the future. Even if that future is just simply what you're going to do when you get up from your chair after this session today. Feel into the future. And bring yourself back. Back to the middle, back to the center. And just follow the inflow and outflow of your breath. If you start to slide in your thoughts towards the past, or start to get dragged forward into the future, just come back to center. And just kind of wiggle yourself into the very now moment. Because in this now moment, in this very, very moment of time, you have everything that you need right now. You're breathing. You're alive. You have energy. Right now, in this very, very moment, there is nothing you need at all. Just be there. Feel into the spaciousness that exists within this now moment. And if you can imagine just a little gap opening up, a little space. It's like a portal of the now. And as you sort of, I use the term step into that portal, that space, feel the expansiveness of it. Within that portal, within this now moment, there is an immense potential, immense space. As you feel into that spaciousness, just for your own benefit, just feel the power within that moment, this moment. Now imagine the y-axis, the north-south axis. Now that you're in center, within the world of form, and where there is no past, there is no future, there is just the now. Let's connect to spirit on that y-axis, the north-south axis. And imagine bringing spirit down, because that seems to be where it comes from. Bringing spirit down, perhaps through the crown of your head, through your crown chakra, as you breathe it in. Bring your spirit down into your heart space. And as you breathe out, feel that energy going down through your lower chakras and down to Mother Earth. Breathing in through your crown, into your heart space, and down to Mother Earth on the out-breath. This is what the Sanskrit would call prana breathing. You're breathing prana energy, which is the energy of spirit, in and grounding that energy of spirit down. We're bringing spirit into bone. Now, just as there was a portal on the horizontal axis, there is also a portal on this vertical axis. So as you breathe in to your heart space, there's a pause before you breathe out. That's the portal. With your mind's eye, align the portal of the horizontal axis that you're sitting in the now moment. Align the portal of the vertical axis with that. So now you're creating a space that has more form and formlessness combined together. And that axis is probably right there in your heart space. You might imagine a spark of light in that space where these two axes intersect. It's your 0 point. That's the pucker in the fabric of space. That is your alignment between your physical ancestral line, the world of form, plus also all the past and future creations that you have made within yourself, and the alignment in the now moment with the world of spirit. And just sit with that for a moment. Imagine that spark as you follow the inflow and outflow of your breath. Imagine that's like a coordinate that locates you, your soul presence, not just in the physical world, but also in the spiritual world. Allow that little spark to grow with each breath, so it becomes a little larger each time the size of a golf ball perhaps, becomes the size of a baseball. And it starts to fill your whole chest area. Perhaps it has a colour or a feel to it. Is that energy that is your soul blueprint? Is that energy? Is it moving? Is it shining out like the sun? What does it feel like? What does it look like? It's a ball of infinite potential. And I want you to imagine the Z-axis, which runs from back to front or front to back. Imagine that the Z-axis is the timeline of your spirit. From time before time began, through cycles of time. And we know time is a very limiting word, because in spirit there is no time. So imagine, if you can, that contemporaneously all of the past and future versions of you, instances of incarnations of you, exist all at once. You might imagine them like a string of beads, or perhaps a string of lights stretching to infinity, or perhaps even like that hall of mirrors that you see when you have mirrors reflecting on each other, that goes on for infinity. Whichever analogy works for you. All of these, what we would call past and future incarnations of spirit, versions of your spirit, your spiritual heritage, exist in this now moment also. And there are specific ones which are brighter than others. Allow those ones to illuminate, and allow the others to drop away from consciousness at this point in time. These are those soul instances of importance to you, to your blueprint, to your mission, an alignment, the codex, the lock with the key that we spoke of. I'll stop talking for a couple of minutes and allow you just to feel into these significant versions of you across cycles of time, and see if one or more of them come forward for you today. They may or may not, but even so, stay in this 0 point and allow them to come forward if they wish. You might notice that in this moment of time, you're completely calm, settled, no worries, as they say. But I'm going to bring you back now. So just bring your consciousness into that 0 point space in your heart space where these three axes intersect. This point of divine consciousness that is you. One of many incarnations of spirit. A significant incarnation with a spiritual heritage and lineage that is available to you for your highest good in this lifetime. And connected through spirit by embodying spirit in bone, in every cell of your body, remembering who you are. A spiritual being having a human existence, yet also balanced in the world of form between the past and the future, between the ancestral lines of the mother and the father. This is you. This is who you are. And this 0 point, 0, 0, 0 axis, it's your happy place. So coming back now, to the room where you sit, feeling your bones held by the chair, thanking spirit, thanking all past and future versions of you, becoming aware of your body. And when you're ready, open up your eyes. We've got time for a couple of quick shares if someone's got something they want to add. There you go, Nick.
Thought I'd have something to share.
Of course.
So I've been working with people that have been teaching me about this, they call this tentacular vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so cool. So the octopus has been very strong with me lately. And it was quite the metaphor that matched your metaphor. And for a while, I've been feeling that north-south axis with the, one tentacle going up, but the octopus head, heart, brain is sitting over my heart, and in that, like, that was a portal. And I'm sure it was my head going, but that's confined, it's just the octopus's head. But inside that octopus's head, they are so intelligent and like just adaptable and, seeking possibility, and so all the axes I felt were like I was stuck in that with my tentacles. But then with the awareness of those past lives being all the little individual suckers that are individual brains on the
Sure.
octopus,
Yeah.
and just like, yeah, like such a great, such a clear vision. Yes, and then both places I went to, the two versions of me that I went to, one was like a druidy thing in France with sunflowers, and the other one I was a spider weaving silk webs
Interesting.
amongst the flowers. Yes, interesting. So
Nice.
yes, and yes, do watch My Octopus Teacher on Netflix if you get a chance, people.
The octopus teacher.
It's such a cool doco about someone who sort of wanted to check out of life, and he went swimming with an octopus for 365 days,
Oh,
every day.
wow.
Yeah,
Interesting analogy. I get it. The tentacles going off. I get
yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
they extend, like they're just because they finish, they keep growing because the tentacles, if a shark bites one off, it regrows,
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Thank you. That was so cool.
Yeah, pleasure.
So cool. There was so much more, but yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we have to interpret it each in our own individual ways. It's great, and that's a good analogy. Yeah, I like that analogy. For me, the space that's created within that, XYZ thing is just, it's a portal to everything. It really is. Yeah. Anybody else like to have a share? Hey, Cynthia.
What I got was a catalyst for change. And when I went to the lifetimes, it was the Pied Piper leading, sort of leading the, and I mean, I know that he led rats, but it's like leading the limiting stuff out of people
Beautiful.
to allow people to awaken. Actually, that's only just come through.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and my conscious mind wanted to keep getting in the way and interpreting it
Of course.
and devaluing it and whatever. But also what I noticed was the power of this heart space when you were bringing us back. Because I'd ended up right at the beginning, even on the east-west, I had a north-south like a like an egg timer,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
bit at the top and the bit at the bottom, even when the east-west, and I ended up with a torus field.
Ah, I like it.
that with a torus field of energy, you know, multicolored, luminous. So, but yeah, the power of that combined space, when I was coming back, which of course I didn't want to come back anyway.
Of course.
I like being out in that space, and I'm learning to live not in that space. But yeah, so thank you.
Pleasure. That's great. Well done. Does anybody else have anything they want to add in? It's not obligatory, just an invitation. Yeah. All right. Oh, Kath, was that you scratching yourself or wanting to say something? Sorry.
Scratch, but I did enjoy it. I don't know if it's wrong or right, but when you said look into the past lives, I suddenly felt very sad. Yeah, that was interesting. And then I couldn't get that feeling to dissipate, and which sort of hung there. But I do love that axis, because there was two ways of looking at the zero, you know, because that is where it's all zero, and the zero can become where I sat, and that became the space. And having a bit of a science background, you know, within all the atoms, there is more space than atom. So the space just grows, you know, and you just step into that, you know. And at times it was just expansive beyond, and at other times it just filled up with color and delight. So it was certainly enjoyable, but I was curious about carrying. I thought, why am I? Anyway, it was brilliant. Thank you.
If you want to explore it, give me a call and we'll have a quick chat about it. There's obviously something there for you that's ready to move on. I was having a chat with someone yesterday, and they rang up because they wanted a healing session because they've, you know, got this stuff coming up. I said, well, you know, it's coming up. That's a great opportunity to get rid of it. And sometimes, you know, we talk about all this stuff. It's all this very low level shadow work and whatever names you want to give it, you know, and undesirable emotions. But it's interesting how the more you raise your frequency, you then start to become aware of these things that you weren't aware of before. So it's really interesting. And it's sort of, you know, they talk about, you know, oh, I've done all this work and I've still got stuff to fix. Fix is the wrong word, but you know what I mean, to let go. And it's true that the more you raise your frequency, of course, the more obvious some of the shadow is going to be from where you are. So I think it's a lovely opportunity when something comes up to think, ooh, goody. What's that rock I can get out of my backpack? Or, you know, you can treat it as something to get rid of, or you can take, I think there's the Vedic approach, which is to release something, and there's a tantric approach, which is to assimilate it. So that sadness, embrace it, give it some love, see if you can integrate it that way. Two ways of going. Anyway, I'm happy to have a chat with you if you want to talk about it. Yeah. All right. I think we're just about at time. It's been wonderful today. Thank you. So I've got a pretty busy day today, and I'm away over the weekend, so I probably won't get the recording out to you people till Monday. So yeah, I don't know how many people actually watch the recording, but I'll send it out anyway. And what's coming through intuitively right now is to say over the weekend, keep a journal handy, and stuff's going to come up. I don't mean bad stuff. I mean revelations are going to appear for everyone that's here, and when they do, you know how you think of something, oh, that's really cool, and you sort of, then you go do next thing, and then you can't remember what it is. Does that happen to anybody? Happens to me. Good, I'm not just getting old. That's good to hear. Write it down. That's what's coming through. When you get that aha moment, no matter how small it might be, or how earth-shatteringly revealing it might be, what Spirit's saying right now is keep a journal handy, write it down, put a note on your phone if you have to, because stuff is going to come up that's going to be really beneficial for you, each of you. If you're listening. And certainly give me a buzz if you want to talk more about the Codex. I'm not trying. I would love it if you felt inclined to support my work in any way whatsoever by booking a session, or perhaps subscribing to me on Substack or something like that. It all helps. It's not a demand. It's not an obligation. But if you do feel inclined to contribute to the greater good, I appreciate it. But if you do just want to ring up and have a chat, I promise I won't turn it into a conversion call. I would love to have a chat with any of you. Give me a buzz, ask me a few questions. That's fine. That's, as the wizard gatekeeper, that is my job. And I'd be very happy to talk to any of you. 100% obligation free. Let's have a chat and fill you in on a few of the things that you might have missed on the master classes that you haven't been to. Ask me any questions that you've got about what you've picked up, or any grey areas that you're not too sure about, because as we move forward with these things, perhaps a little bit of foundational knowledge that you might have not had the opportunity to pick up with might be helpful in integrating things moving forward, because I really do feel we've got some significant work to do for those of you that are on this particular journey. Aho, as they say. So, woohoo! I'll get the recording out with the new dates. Lemurian Circle is the 13th of October. So that will be good. We'll do some Lemurian stuff there. And I've got a spirit guidance on the 10th of October, next Friday. I think it's 10 a.m. Sydney time, which means it moves around for me. Okay, so one of them moves around for me and the other one stays stable for me. So 10 a.m. Sydney time. I don't think... When does daylight savings kick in? It's about the end of the month, isn't it?
I think Australia's this weekend. New Zealand was last
this weekend, man.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Bloody hell, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Good to know when you're working with us.
Yes.
Down under.
Yeah, I thought I Googled it the other day and I thought it said, 24th of October or something, but yeah, thank you for letting me know. Because actually I noticed that my spirit guidance was scheduled for 9 o'clock Brisbane time on next Friday, and I got in touch with the social media guy, Irvin, who puts those up for the Intuitive Wisdom Academy. And I said, man, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock, not 9. So he changed it to 10. So I might be wrong, hey. So I guess I will see you at 10 o'clock Sydney time. It's 10 o'clock Melbourne time. On the 10th, for those of you that want to do spirit guidance. And Cynthia, I wouldn't have a clue what time that is in New Zealand. Probably
A day.
12 o'clock maybe, is it? Yeah. Yeah. So look out. I'll put the link in when I send out the email to you guys. I'll pop the link in for that as well. Alrighty. Cool. And we're heading off. Lots of love. Thank you for
Thank
today.
you.
It's
That was
always
amazing.
a pleasure. And
Yeah.
looking forward to having some chats.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Bye,
Be
everyone.
well.
Bye.
Be well, everybody. Cheers.